What's up guys, ZenoJab here back with a brand new video, and today we have some really interesting Switch 2 leaks to actually look at. We're just going to jump right into it. Here we have a tweet from Wario64, very popular Twitter account, where he basically went ahead and shared some info in regards to a Reddit post that talked about some Switch 2 accessories showing up on Alibaba, which is a Chinese social media website. And in here we can actually see the image. This is supposedly the Switch 2 carrying case, and we can tell just from the dimensions, this thing's gonna be big. I mean, if you've seen the actual leaks of the Nintendo Switch 2, we'll probably look at some stuff in just a second, but if you've seen these leaks, you'll know that it looks very similar to the current Nintendo Switch OLED. However, it is actually bigger than the Nintendo Switch OLED by quite a bit. And this kind of backs up those claims and those rumors, because as we can see, this thing is thick, man. It's almost 2 inches thick, which is pretty hefty. And we can actually tell that the reason why it's that thick is because of the Joy-Con placement of the carrying case. This pretty much means that the Joy-Cons are going to be some pretty thick controllers. It kind of reminds me of the Lenovo Legion Go, if you guys have ever seen that. It kind of has like a Nintendo Switch design. You can take the Joy-Cons essentially off. They're not actually called Joy-Cons, but you can take them off, and those things are really thick, and this kind of reminds me of that. And then here we can basically see it's just, you know, the cutouts for the actual layouts of the controllers and the buttons and all that. I don't know if this here, it says Nintendo Switch 2, of course. This doesn't really look too like official to me, at least. It's like a little bit, you know, misplaced and stuff. And there are rumors that this is not going to be the name for the next Nintendo console. It could be. They very well could just name it Nintendo Switch 2, but I don't know. I would not take this as like 100% proof that that's going to be the name. Obviously, that's the easy thing to call the next Nintendo console. But yeah, pretty much this kind of does give us a little bit of an idea as to how big this thing is going to be in its actual carrying case. About 2 inches, almost 2 inches thick, about almost 6 inches tall, and then 11.5 inches wide. So definitely a very large console. On top of that, we also got to look at some other carrying cases, and as we can see, they are like, this kind of looks like maybe like a hard carrying case. This one has a little bit of a different like trim color to it and stuff. This one's probably for like a little bit more, you know, protection, whereas this one looks like it's basically going to be like almost like a skin, like it's going to fit onto the console itself with these cutouts and stuff like that. This one looks like it's probably going to provide a little bit more support, and I imagine it's probably a bit thicker. It actually shows the dimensions right there. Again, it says Switch 2. I don't know if that's going to be the official name for this console, but it seems like, you know, that's what is on all of these leaks and stuff, so maybe that is the official name. And then lastly, in this post, we have a look at some screen protectors that also showed up on Alibaba. Here we can see the screen protectors for what looks like the original Nintendo Switch. The original one has this cutout here. The OLED, I think, is just a solid piece. But so this one looks like the version 2 Nintendo Switch. And then here is, of course, the Switch 2. And as you can see, the screen is massive compared to the original Switch, which has a 6.2-inch screen. This one supposedly is going to be an 8-inch screen. So definitely a major size upgrade there. It's even going to be bigger than the Nintendo Switch OLED screen, which is, I believe, 7 inches. So this is definitely going to be a pretty massive console. I know that's probably going to be a little bit controversial because the current Nintendo Switch lineup is already, you know, they're pretty big, like handhelds, and this is kind of going into like Steam Deck territory and like handheld PC territory in general. And those consoles can be pretty big, so, you know, that's going to be something to definitely keep in mind. We also do have a look at some of the leaked like Joy-Cons. They look pretty much exactly the same as the current Joy-Cons. Obviously, the main difference is going to be that rail system. There have been a lot of leaks that have said that this railing system, it's not going to be like the current Nintendo Switch where you actually slide the Joy-Con into the rail. These are actually going to work magnetically, kind of like the Lenovo Legion Go again. So you're going to actually like clip it on, and then it's going to like magnetically connect and pop in. And that's apparently like the big thing with the new Switch Joy-Cons. This, you know, besides being much more massive than the original Joy-Cons and stuff, there are some additional details here. It says larger SL and SR buttons, new pedal back button, a curved design, And then these all just say that it's from leaks from China and the Bilibili website. But yeah, if you were to actually look at these images and not really know the context, you would think that these are just normal Joy-Cons for the Nintendo Switch OLED, but these are pretty different in regards to that rail system and stuff like that. There has been like comparisons too with these type of Joy-Cons, the like prototypes that leaked or whatever, next to normal Joy-Cons, and they are significantly larger. Just to go ahead and actually show you guys that, this is a mock-up. I believe this was actually 3D printed by a YouTuber, just to show like what it looks like next to a Nintendo Switch OLED. This is basically based off of the leaks and the dimensions and all that stuff. This is what the Switch 2 Joy-Con is going to look like, and this is obviously the current Nintendo Switch Joy-Con that would go on like a Switch OLED or a normal Switch. Obviously it's a lot bigger, you know, the actual thumbsticks are bigger, the buttons look slightly bigger as well, the overall size is bigger. You can't really tell the how thick they are because this is like a flat laying image, but again, based off of what we saw in that carrying case, they are going to be noticeably thicker too. They did also mention too in this leak here that it has a curved design. I'm assuming that that's in the back of the actual Joy-Con, probably for ergonomics, which is good because the normal Joy-Cons aren't that ergonomic, and it's kind of a little bit better to actually go with third-party Joy-Cons if you want a little bit more of a better feel in your hands. So it's cool that Nintendo seems to be doing something about that, at least with the new Joy-Cons. And then here is another image from that same content creator where they show a Nintendo Switch OLED next to the 3D printed like Switch 2 mock-up, essentially based off of the leaked dimensions. And again, as you can tell, it is a pretty significant size difference compared to the Nintendo Switch OLED. It kind of reminds me more of like the size of something like the Steam Deck. If you've ever held that in your hands, it kind of looks like it's going to be around that size, and for some people that'll be cool. Maybe it'll be a little bit more ergonomic, just like the Steam Deck, and for some, this is technically supposed to be a portable handheld, so the fact that they're just getting bigger and bigger, it is a little bit of a concerning thing. Here's another image that we can actually see. This is just again supposed to be like a sort of look at the screen size difference. The top one, of course, being the Switch 2, and then this one is the Switch OLED. It's going to have a much bigger screen. That's pretty much the core of this. It's going to have a bigger screen, bigger Joy-Cons. Overall, the console is going to be bigger. And then lastly, just to go ahead and look at the size one more time, this is a Switch OLED. This is supposedly the Switch 2 design based off of the dimensions. Okay, obviously this is not the Switch 2 design itself, but rather just, the size. And then that's something like the Steam Deck. So it's going to be somewhere in between the Switch OLED and a Steam Deck. There are a lot of rumors right now that Nintendo might be announcing the Switch 2 in January, so pretty much just 1 month from now, and that is why we're getting so many new leaks in regards to not only the console itself, but to the accessories, and now even things like this, carrying cases, screen protectors and stuff, because all of these things are going to have to be ready by early next year if supposedly the March release date that has been rumored and leaked on for a long time now, if that is true, then all of these things are going to have to be ready, of course, and that is why we're starting to see things like this show up on Chinese websites and stuff like that. As of the making of this video, they've actually taken a lot of these products down from the Alibaba website too. This is the actual original Reddit thread where it originated, and they actually linked the Alibaba websites to the tempered glass screen protectors for the Switch 2 as well as the carrying case. And as you can see, when you actually click the links, nothing happens now. It's basically a 404 because they took them down. That just kind of adds to the validity of the Nintendo Switch 2 leaks that we've looked at today, because if they weren't real, then first of all, if they weren't real, why would they even be on there, in the first place? And then if they weren't real too, why would they be taken down so quickly? Just kind of adds to that validity. And it also just goes ahead to confirm a lot of other rumors that we've gotten in the last couple of months about the Switch 2 in terms of its design and in terms of how, essentially it looks and stuff. The last thing I wanted to mention was that these images here are actually from a video. I wasn't able to actually find the video. It looks like it has been taken down or whatever. Obviously these screenshots still do exist of the video. Basically just, they're showing off the new Joy-Con, whatever, and explaining it in Chinese. but this was the comment section of that video. Obviously everything has been translated to English. It might sound a little bit weird just because of that, but one of the comments actually said, like, there's not much news. Is this going to be revealed in January and released in March? Is this true or is it false? And then the person that actually posted those product images of the stuff that we just looked at right now, they actually responded to that, basically being like, it says right here, it's really hard to see, but it says the production volume for March release is not enough. And then someone replied saying, we may have to wait until May or June to play it. And then they said, yes, the fastest time is at least this time. So that kind of does seem like we're not going to get this in March. If they are true, it sounds like May or June might be the earliest time. They did mention, though, that mass production has already started. So that's pretty much all the Nintendo Switch 2 news we have to look at today. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. With all that being said, thank you for watching the video, and I'll see you in the next one.